Hey, what's up YouTube? Graylan Stewart here with another video. Today is my vlog day. I call it my work Wednesdays. Just kind of going through the work that I do on a daily basis. So as you can tell, I'm in a motel or a hotel, I guess. I guess it's a hotel when they have elevators, right? So I flew into Oklahoma City yesterday and got to spend some time with one of my friends and got to hang out a little bit, but here on business, of course. That's typically why I come here for the most part. Well, I always come here for multiple reasons, but I always use business as an excuse, of course, so I can write it off. But, you know, my kids live here, my older kids, so it's always good to be able to hang out with them a little bit as well and take them to dinner and things like that. But I mainly came here, I'm super excited because I'm actually going to shoot TV commercials here in a couple of days. Well, here tomorrow, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited. You know, I've been wanting to get on TV for probably a year or so. I've been trying to get on. And I finally found, you know, there's only two companies that I know of that kind of helps investors get on TV. You know, and I don't want to go do it by myself because I don't have the time or energy, nor do I want to do that. So I'd rather hire a company to do it for me. So that's exactly what I did. They had a spot open up. Of course, I'm persistent and bugged them to death all the time. Like, hey, you know, because they all have waiting lists. I'm like, how can I get to the front of your waiting list? You know, I need to get on there like now, like yesterday. So anyways, finally, you know, I bugged him at the right time and somebody just canceled with him. So anyway, so I signed up with him to get on TV. So I'm shooting the commercial tomorrow and I guess I'll be on 7 different TV channels here in the Oklahoma City metro area. So that's exciting. I'm already on 3 radio stations here. So I think that'll just kind of help because, you know, I've been doing marketing and advertising for a long time. You know, as a career, you know, not just for myself, but I know that a lot of marketing and advertising things, they all work hand in hand and they all help each other out. So I know that it'll help being on radio and TV because people that hear me on radio now will be able to put a face with that voice on the radio that they hear and they'll know it's the same company, you know, because I talk about it on the radio and I will on TV as well. So I think that'll help. You know, it's just kind of like it'll complete the circle in a lot of cases. And the same thing goes vice versa. You know, people that see me on TV, then they'll be like, oh, here's this guy on radio now, you know. So I think it'll help a lot. And then a lot of those same people probably will get some direct mail pieces from me or might get cold called from our company. And, you know, who knows? They'll get reached in multiple different ways. So that's the point. And, you know, maybe they'll search, you know, online for me, for our company, and they'll see that. So nevertheless, I'm excited to finally get on TV. So I'm confident that it'll work just because I have friends that are doing it and it's going well for them. You know, because it is, you know, any kind of advertising is a risk, you know, especially when you're spending big dollars. TV is expensive. Even going through these companies, you know, they help you get discounts and put you in the right places for you to succeed, you know, most likely to succeed, but it's still a lot of money. You know, it's more than I've ever spent on advertising and marketing right now in our business. So just being on all the radio stations, the TV now, starting that new cold calling company that is literally 10 times more expensive than I've ever spent on cold calling, 10 times more than any cold calling company out there, but they're 10 times better too, so it's worth it. But anyways, nevertheless, just kind of getting my day going. I've got 3, let me think. I've got 3 flips going on right now. So it's always nice to kind of be able to look at those in person since I buy everything sight unseen, you know. It's pretty rare that I ever see a house before I actually buy it. So there is one house in particular I've definitely never seen. I've seen the other 2 before because I was here, I don't know, 6 weeks or so ago. But yeah, there's one house that I've never seen at all, so I'll probably drive to go look at that one today. And then there's another house we just bought that we're starting that I've never seen. So I'm meeting my contractor over there this afternoon to check that out as well, to hopefully get that going ASAP. So anyways, got a couple of vacancies, I need to get filled. So I'm always like up in the air. Should I hire somebody, as I don't know, just somebody to help me fill those? Really my dispo manager could probably do it and just pay her. That's the hard part. It's like, how do you pay these people? But I guess you could pay them kind of like a property manager. Like when they place people, I think they usually charge whatever, like equal to the first month. It's kind of what their fee is, or maybe half of what that is, half of that or something. I'm not sure, but it's difficult, man, when you're spread thin like I am. I'm running the wholesaling company. I've got usually 2 or 3 flips going on at all times, usually remodeling rentals as well. I've got a bunch of land that I'm selling on, like rent to own, and just a lot of different things. I end up managing projects most of the day, and still, I don't just throw my wholesaling business to the side, because I've still got to talk to everybody in the company that might need help here and there. Of course, I've got plenty of people that are doing things, but at the same time, it all falls on me. So it's my responsibility to make sure people succeed in my company. I want everybody to do well and to make good money, so that they stick around, so we try to set everybody up to succeed, and the rest is kind of up to them. If they take the knowledge and the training seriously and actually do what they're supposed to do, then they're gonna make good money. But anyways, that's really all I got going on today. I'm gonna drive to a couple of my flips, gonna meet my contractor at the new place, gonna check on the flip that we've had going for a few weeks now that I've never seen at all, and we're already halfway done with that, and that'll be a pretty big transformation too. We took down we didn't take down a wall, we added a couple of walls, took down a drop ceiling, moved some doors around, and it's a pretty big project. But it's not like a full gut remodel or anything, because I don't like doing those. I have done a couple of them, by accident, but I like lipstick deals or value adds that doesn't take a ton of extra, but sometimes they just end up being more than you expect once you dig into them. Just like one flip I'm doing right now, it's literally a full gut. It's almost a rebuild. And we didn't expect that. I completely expected that to be a lipstick type of a deal, and maybe a little bit above that, but never expected it to be a full remodel. But yeah, we took that place down to the studs, reframing the entire house. There's an add-on at the back that was terrible. We found out, the footing wasn't even right, so we literally rebuilt that entire add-on. So roof and all, down, foundation, everything up. And then we've got to do all new plumbing, all new electrical. It'll be a brand new house basically. So, and but it was a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and it's going to end up being a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath with an open concept in one of the hottest spots in Oklahoma City. So I'm actually going to keep that one as an Airbnb. But that'll be a good project once it's finished. But it takes a while, and it has taken a while already. And we probably are still, I bet you, 2 months out. Our goal was to finish it by the end of March, but I think it'll probably be the end of April, best case scenario now, just because it ended up being more than we expected once we kind of dug into things. So yeah, I was hoping to spend 30 to 40 on that thing, but it's probably going to be 70 to 80, at this point with everything that we've had to do. But it is what it is. And that's not even counting the foundation work we did beforehand. So I already spent 10 grand before we even touched it. So that's not even counting that. So yeah, it could end up being close to 100 grand before we finish, but it'll be worth it in that neighborhood, because nevertheless, whatever I spend on it, it'll still be valued much higher than what I have it at. So I'll refinance it and get all of my money back. So I'm not worried about that at all, but I'd like to get it finished, because that'd give me a place to stay when I'm here, I used to live here half of the time, but since I moved to Colorado full time, I don't have anywhere to stay except for hotels. I mean, I have friends that offer, but it's just easier and to have your own space. You know what I mean? So I typically just end up getting a hotel. I stay at the same place every time. I'm at the True by Hilton. I don't know why I like them. I like the modern look of everything. It's the perfect location to where I can kind of go everywhere throughout the city. And it's a good price too. It's typically $100 or so a night, which is pretty good, because I like to stay at pretty nice places typically. But, this place it kind of meets all those. It checks all the boxes. It's clean and nice, good location, and pretty decently priced. So, yes, I still price shop even though, I make good money. But I think that's what sets some of the really rich people apart. A lot of them, if you notice, they're super frugal, or they just are smarter with their money is really what it is. Because you have money you could just spend on whatever. Just like we just booked, me and my wife, we're going on this mastermind. She's going with me this time for the Investor Lift Cartel Bosses. So it's like the top 50, wholesalers in the country, at least on this platform. And the flights, like I always price shop because we travel a lot. I'm always looking for the best deals. But we bought some more expensive ones just because it had lower travel time, and it just met our needs a little bit better, even though it was kind of twice as high as what the cheaper ones were. So, but still, we still looked at like what's the cheapest with all these scenarios. You know what I mean? So, I don't think it's being cheap or frugal necessarily. I look at it as being smarter with your money, and that's why I've always said like they're really broke people spend their money like it's literally like it's water. They'll go to the gas station and buy all these different things. I just noticed that because I go to 7-Eleven for Diet Cokes and stuff. But I just noticed that the broke people, you can just tell. Like they literally just throw their money away, like they don't even care, and then they'll buy the scratch-off tickets and all these other things. Like, you know what I mean? That's not what wealthy people do. You know what I mean? They're smarter with their money, and I'm not talking about pinching pennies or anything like that because I definitely spend a lot of money every day. But I think I'm just smarter with it. And the older you get to, you just learn more because I've always made a lot of money throughout my adult life. Most of it, but I've never made the kind of money I do now, that I do in real estate over these last few years. But I think I'm just, I'll always be kind of frugal and smart with money in that respect, because yes, if I can get a Vegas trip, because we're going to Vegas also in a couple of months, if I can get that for $1,000 at one place, and then the other place is just as nice right next door for $800. I'm probably going to do the $800 one. That's just the way it is. But there's some people who are like, oh, I want to do the $1,200 one, even though they can't even afford to go there at all. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm not trying to judge. I just notice things like that all the time. The people that can't really afford it have all the big houses and fancy cars, and then they struggle to make their payments. So I've always been on the mindset, like whatever I have, I want to be able to like easily afford it, even if worst case scenario happens, you know what I mean? Everything changes or whatever. So that's kind of how I've always lived. So any cars or houses or whatever else I buy that's like big purchases, that's kind of how I do it. I make sure that, okay, worst case scenario, I could still afford this. You know what I mean? If this happened or whatever happened, I could still afford it easily. So that's kind of how I've always done it. But I know a lot of friends, just like in the neighborhood we're at, it's our new house. It's a really nice, and it's big and it's expensive, but there's a lot of neighbors that I promise you they are struggling. That's just our society, the way life is. People just way overextend themselves. I mean, I grew up that way too. My mom does that. She's always lived above her means, and I always said I would never ever do that. So I've always lived really nice and had really nice things, but I've always made 2 or 3 times as much as I have to be able to live in those things. So that's just how I've always done it. But it's just interesting how different people think. So I'm not saying any of it's good or bad. That's just what I do. But anyways, I don't even know how I went down that rabbit hole. But I'm excited to be here, get to see some friends, some family, my kids, of course, and shoot that TV commercial. So hopefully that goes well. And then we'll start getting TV calls soon. So I know the team is excited about it because they'll start bringing in some good calls, because I think we'll get a lot of calls. All we got to do is convert those calls. So anyways, thank you guys for joining me. Vlog day is always interesting. I never even have a clue what I'm talking about. I just start talking. So anyways, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like, share, follow. See you guys next time.